How you doing today, my friends? Mr. Green here, and we're going to start on part 3 of this build. All I've done since the last video is I put the 2 front bars in for the dash, and I came up with the steering system. So kind of show you what I'm going to use as a steering, also using parts that I've just got laying around. I've collected over the years of my business. I do dump runs and that type of thing. I end up with a lot of GTs and stuff for snow. So we had about 5 GTs here, so what I did was I cut one up and I took the steering column out of it and the steering wheel. Now eventually I will change the steering wheel out to a better steering wheel, something bigger, but I may even ask my brother-in-law if he can 3D print me a steering wheel for this thing. But anyways, so yeah, I cut that out, and this actually is going to hold it. And the way I've got it is it's going to be mounted like this. So I now just need to get this attached, get the post that goes from here on the steering column down, and then I'm going to use chain, some old chain that I got laying around, to run one top over to this column and then one over to the bottom, and that should give me my steering back. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now, and as soon as I get some of the steering put together, I will bring you back and we'll take another look at it. Okay, well, I got most of the steering done, and it's taken me about 6 hours. I've had everything just about go wrong all at once, but hey, you know, I've never done this before to this extent. I've done lots of fabrication work, but nothing to this extent. So I had to figure out how to get all this steering to work, because now it's not lined up with the old steering. So what I've done is got the steering wheel coming down, and then I used an old Union U-joint from one of the front end of the bike from before, and then I built it out on a bar like that. And I guess it's kind of self-explanatory, and you can see how I got the chain, and then it's welded on around this bar under the old steering, and then around here around this U-joint, and all attached. So now obviously I gotta upgrade this steering wheel, you know, sometime, but that'll do for now. And you know, you're not gonna be able to turn the wheels when sitting still with that little bit of a steering wheel, but later on I'll get a bigger one off of like a go-kart or something like that. But this is just so I can fab it all up. But yeah, so that's what I got done today so far. But tomorrow we'll work on, I'm not 100% sure yet, but I'll see you tomorrow on here. So ciao for now. Okay guys, I've been working away. It's the next day actually, and it's just torrential downpours again today, so I apologize for the noise. I've been just working on getting everything fit. I got this front plastic back on. I had to cut for the new steering shaft to go through. And then there's, I just hooked up the gear shifter. I've moved it right here, right beside the steering wheel. So now there's high, there's low, and there's reverse. So it's convenient where it is right there. And then the next thing I'm going to work on is the shifter. And I'm just doing this stuff first because it's going to make it easier if I have all this stuff, get the oil cooler, all of that stuff mounted now, and not have to worry about it once everything's enclosed. So yeah, the next thing I'm going to work on is the shifter. And what I came up with is to take a piece of square tubing, turn it into a T like this, weld it together, and then use a pivot point somewhere in here on that center bar right there, and then run a rod back, and then I'll have to figure out that part. But so yeah, once I get this all welded together, the shifter, and get it installed, I'll bring you back. Okay, my friends, I came back out this morning, had to do a little fiddling with the gear shifter. I'll show you what I did on that. Right now I'm working on the gas pedal and the brake pedal, and I've got a lot of this channel just kicking around. So what I've decided to do is to weld it together like this. Obviously clean it up first, weld it together like this, and I'll end up with a brake and gas pedal that is wide enough for your foot and should do the trick. So I'm gonna get these all cleaned up and welded, and then I'll be back and we'll take a look. Okay, my friends, I spent a little time there and welded everything together and then ran a bolt through it, and now I have my gas and my brake all on one assembly. So now, and the nice thing is on the side it's got all the holes, so I should be able to match. And if you have slippery boots or mud, a lot of it's just going to go right through those holes. So in all aspects, it's actually going to work out just fine. Now I'm going to go work on mounting it, and then once I get these mounted, I'll bring you guys over and I'll show you what I did this morning with the gear shifter and all of that, and we'll go from there. So we'll be right back. Okay, my friends, I've got the oil cooler now mounted, and you can see what I did here from the shifter. So it comes over to a pivot, and then this side I had to make bigger because the action that it takes to get the shifter to shift gears back and forth took more than what I had here. So I added on to it, and now it works just great. So that's done. The pedals are now installed down there. The brake's not hooked up, but the gas is. I just used the trigger from the handlebars, mounted it down beside the pedal, and now when I push on the pedal, it pushes down on the little lever that would have been on your thumb before. So it works great, and no issue there. So I still have the brakes to do, but I don't have the stuff to do that, so I'm going to move on to the floor and the seats and all of that stuff. But once I get maybe the floor in, and I'm going to have to finish this video off soon so it doesn't get too long. But yeah, I will. I'm going to work on a little bit more, and then I'll show you, and then we'll end the video. Okay, my friends, I'm done for the day. I'm pretty exhausted now, but I got a lot done today. Got the floor in. I'm using it's called like a Muralex. It's what they use inside coolers and stuff. It's a very heavy-duty corrugated plastic. I was going to do steel on the floor, but then I realized if every little bit of extra steel I put on this is just making this heavier, and to have all that extra steel down in the bottom is completely unnecessary. Where this, you know, I'll be able to wipe mud out of here no problem, and it'll make my life a lot easier. So that's going to be that. We're really not that far away from at least getting a quick test run. I'm going to do the seat tomorrow, and finish welding all the frame that all the spots that I didn't, because everything is just kind of tacked. Some of it's welded out a bit, but yeah, so tomorrow I'm going to do the seat, and then we're going to rewire this bike and get a little dash panel put in, and we should be able to do our first little test run. I still got to do the front CV joints for the front end. Once that's done, they can go back in, and then, yeah, like I said, we'll be able to at least start it up and take her for a little boot around the yard just to make sure everything is working before I, you know, go any further. So, but thanks a lot, everybody, for checking out this series I'm putting out. I greatly appreciate all the new subscribers and all the old subscribers, and yeah, and please remember to subscribe, and as always, if you click that thumbs up button, it'd be greatly appreciated. Have a great day.